Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Chapter 4.6 and 4.7, Help Notes for Nahmad and Haywood, a new Arabic grammar. In this chapter, Nahmad and Haywood introduce the concept of al-idaafah. Let's start off with this book here, which has a name inside the place for writing a name, and the name is Zayd. The book belongs to Zayd. We can write this by saying al-kitabu li Zaydin. The book belongs to li Zaydin. The word Zayd is majroor, and the reason it's majroor is because of this harf jar, li. That makes the word Zayd majroor. And majroor is a munsarif word, i.e. a triptote, and because of that it behaves normally and takes a kasra, and the reason it doesn't have an alif lam, and therefore it takes two kasras. The word al-kitab is the mubtada, and therefore is marfu and takes a dhamma. Let's take another example. Banaytu, I made. Baytan, a house. Min, from. Khashab, wood. Banaytu baytan min khashabin. I made a house from wood. This is the object of what did I make? I made the house. Hence this is the maf'ulun bihi. And maf'ulun bihis are always mansub. And as this is a munsarif word, because we don't know it to be anything else, then it takes two fathas. Banaytu baytan. But this bayt is made from wood, of wood, min khashab. Min is a harf jar, and the word khashab is therefore ismu majrurin, and therefore it is majrur, and as it's munsarif, it takes two kasras. And as it doesn't have alif lam, it's two kasras. Let's take this. This is Palestine, and the Dome of the Rock, which is not the same as Masjid al-Aqsa. Masjid al-Aqsa is opposite to the Dome of the Rock, but this is quite representative of Jerusalem as a city. Al-Ardu, the earth, fil Qudsi, in Jerusalem, Tahira, is pure. So here we have al-ard, which is like the mubtada, what we're talking about, the earth, and the mubtada is marfu' always, and as it's a munsarif word, it's going to take a dhamma. It only takes a single dhamma because there's an alif lam. Fil Qudsi, we have a harf jar and ismu majroor. The harf jar is fi, which means in. Al-Quds is going to be majroor, and the sign that it's majroor is going to be a kasra because it is munsarif. And it's a single kasra because it is definite al. And there's our khabar. It's telling us what is the in Quds like. It is tahira, pure. Now we can rewrite this sentence al-kitabu li Zaydin in a shorter format by removing the al and removing the harf jar. We can write it as kitabu Zaydin, book belonging to Zayd, book of Zayd. We could do the same thing with this here. Instead of writing banaytu baytan min khashab, I made a house from wood, I can delete the min and just put the word bayt with the word khashab. Banaytu bayta khashabin. Note the bayt drops its tanween and this alif here, and I'll explain in a moment why that happens. In the third example, al-ardu fil Qudsi tahira. Instead of writing al-ardu fil Quds, I can write ardul Quds tahira. The earth of Jerusalem is pure. Again note the alif lam, which is with ard, has gone, and the fi is no longer there. This construction of two words, one followed immediately by the other, kitabu Zaydin, bayta khashabin, ardul Qudsi, is called an al-idaafah. The whole construction is known as al-idaafah, and an idaafah is made up of two parts. The first word, which is a noun, and the second word, which is a noun. You only have this relationship with two words which are both nouns. The first word is called al-mudaf. The second word in such a pair is called al-mudaf ilay. So kitab is al-mudaf, bayt is al-mudaf, and the word ard is al-mudaf. But the word Zayd is al-mudaf ilay, the word khashab is al-mudaf ilay, and al-Quds is al-mudaf ilay. The idaafah gives us a connection between the first word and the second word. And the three connections that it can have is one of belonging, li, the book belongs to Zayd, or min, the house is made from wood, bayta min khashabin, bayta khashabin, or of fi, ardul qudsi, the earth is in al-Quds, fil Quds. These are the three possible meanings behind an idaafah. There are some rules about idaafat, and I've highlighted them in yellow. Let's go row by row. In the first two rules are about the way we write. Al-mudaf is never allowed to take a tanween. Even if it is indefinite, it is not allowed to take a tanween. It can only take a single dhamma, single fatha, single kasra. Likewise, the mudaf, al-mudaf, is never allowed to take an alif lam, at least for al-idafat al-haqiqiyya. The al-mudaf ilay is allowed to take a tanween if it doesn't have an alif lam, and if it has an alif lam, it is allowed to take an alif lam. And I'll just illustrate this with the examples we had in a moment. So remember these two yellow box rules. Whenever you're talking about an idaafah, the al-mudaf has not allowed to take a tanween and not allowed to take an alif lam. As these two words, the al-mudaf and al-mudaf ilay, are always nouns, and nouns have four properties. They have their gender, their male or female nouns, the inflection, i.e. the hal, is it marfu, mansub or majroor, the number, is it singular, dual or plural, and the definiteness. Al-idaafah affects the hal of the al-mudaf ilay. It is always majroor. Whereas the al-mudaf can be marfu, mansub, or majroor. It has no effect on the number, and it has no effect or requirement for either word to be mudhakkar or mu'annath. You can have any combination of these two, and you can have any combination of these two. As for the hal, the al-mudaf can either be marfu, mansub, majroor, but the al-mudaf ilay has to always, always, always be majroor. When it comes to definiteness, we don't know what the definiteness of al-mudaf ilay, of the al-mudaf is, because we've lost the two symbols for definiteness. There is no al and there is no tanween. So how can we tell? We tell by looking at its paired word, the al-mudaf ilay. If the al-mudaf ilay is ma'rifah, which is symbolized by this plus, then the al-mudaf is also ma'rifah. If the al-mudaf ilay is nakira, indefinite, then the al-mudaf is also nakira. So just remember the yellow boxes. Let's put that into practice now. Here's our first sentence. Al-kitabu li Zaydin. The book belongs to Zayd. We shorten that to Kitabu Zaydin, the book of Zayd. And if you look at the word kitab, it lost its alif lam. So that's that rule there. Normally, when we don't write alif lam, we put a tanween, but we're not allowed to do that. That's that rule there. No tanweens for the al-mudaf. And if we look at Zayd, it has to be majroor. And the sign that it's majroor, because it's a munsarif word, is a kasra. And it's two kasras. Here, there is no harf jar to make this word majroor. So what is making the word Zayd majroor? It is the fact that it is the al-mudaf ilay, which is this rule here. How do we know, is the word kitab definite or indefinite? We look at this rule here. We say that the definiteness of al-mudaf is the same as the al-mudaf ilay. Al-mudaf ilay is the word Zayd, which at first glance looks indefinite because it doesn't have alif lam and it has a tanween. But hang on, this is a proper noun. And proper nouns, remember, are always definite. So therefore, the book, kitab, is definite. Second example. Banaytu baytan min khashabin. we rewrite this, the baytan min khashabin, as bayta khashabin. So rule number one, this word had a nakira here. The nakira, it remains the tanween, sorry, and the tanween is now gone. Why? Because of this rule. You're not allowed to write a tanween for al-mudaf. It doesn't have alif lam because you're not allowed to write alif lam. But it didn't have alif lam in the beginning. The reason we dropped this alif is because now we don't have a tanween. Beta. Now we drop the min and we put the khashab here. Why is the khashab and why does it have two kasras? Because it's majrur. Why is it majrur? Because it is in an idaafah, and it's the second of the pair of words in an idaafah. It's al-mudaf ilay, and the al-mudaf ilay has always got to be majrur. Now, is the word bait definite or indefinite? Ma'rifa or nakira? Well, there's no tanween, so I can't tell. There's no alif lam, so I can't tell. So what do? I look over here and I see the rule. It says it is equal to the whatever the definiteness is of al-mudaf ilay. So let's look at the al-mudaf ilay. It's khashab. It has a tanween. It doesn't have an alif lam, and it's not a proper noun. So therefore, this is indefinite. So therefore, the word bait is indefinite. Take our third example. Al-ardu fil qudsi tahira. The earth in Jerusalem is pure. Here we again reduce the word ard to ard, no alif lam, no tanween. Why? Because of the first two rules of idaafas. Al-Quds is Jerusalem. Now it takes an alif lam, and are we allowed to give an alif lam to the al-mudaf ilayh? Yes. They can take alif lams and they can take tanweens. Why does it have a kasra? Because it's majrur. Why is it majrur? Even though there's no harf jar? Because it's in an idaafah. It's the second word of an idaafah pair. We call that al-mudaf ilay, and the rule says al-mudaf ilay is always majrur. Is ard definite or indefinite? Well, we look at the rule. The rule says that al-mudaf equals al-mudaf ilay in definiteness. So let's look at the al-mudaf ilay, which is al-Quds. It has an alif lam, so therefore it's definite. Therefore the word earth is also definite. This completes part 1 of this section, and now I'll be moving on to what they talked about in chapter 4.6. Please watch the next video. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.